What's up guys, welcome back to LSJ TV. In today's video we are going to be working out which of your favourite YouTubers and which of your favourite fitness industry athletes are natural or not. Probably. How we're going to do that, we're going to be using something called the FFMI, also known as the Fat Free Mass Index. What it does is it takes your height, your body fat percentage and your weight, puts it together and it comes up with a number. Now, if you're 19, then you are the average male. If you are 19 to 22, then congratulations, you look like you lift, you go to the gym, people can tell you work out. 22 to 23, you're in really good shape, you probably compete, you've been training for a long time, you know your nutrition, you're good at working out, you're consistent, congratulations, you're a really good bodybuilder, you probably compete. Now when we get to 24 and 26, this is a sort of boundary. This is the grey area where where nobody is too sure about the results. It has to be done on opinion, you have to bear in a number of factors. You have to bear in mind their genetics, how long they've been training, how quickly they made their gains, and the kind of foods they eat, all that kind of stuff. So people with 24 to 26, this is insane genetics. Insane genetics. We're talking the top 0.0111%. But then again, it could be compared to people who are actually unnatural, but just look that good. That's how good getting in the 24 to 26 realm is. People who are actually on stuff, on steroids, an unnatural athlete, look as good as the people with the top genetics. And then lastly, if you're 26 and above, fuck off, you're on something. Don't believe it, not buying it, you're not fooling anyone, move on, you're on something. However, you cannot prove something just from FFMI. It is a matter of opinion and it is a matter of statistics. If you're above 24, 26, if you're in that grey area, then you have to judge how much of a statistical anomaly it is as to whether they're natural or not. So if someone has an FFMI of 24 or 23.6 or something like that, something in that area, it's coming up to the grey area, but it's definitely possible, it's definitely achievable naturally if you have the correct genetics, if you have the correct education, all that kind of stuff. But then again, even if someone is on 25 plus, it is achievable. You just have to have the best of the best genetics. It's an insane anomaly, but you can't disprove it just using the FFMI. It has to be some sort of other test, some complicated test. So all I'm trying to say is that this isn't exact science, but it's just putting some numbers in there to help us figure it out a lot easier. But as I say, you can't disprove it completely, just like you guys can't disprove I can't bench press 200 kilos. One thing I will say before we get started properly, a few of you guys will have watched these YouTubers and no doubt been inspired to get involved in fitness because of them, which is great. So don't get angry if they are unnatural according to the FFMI scale, because what you have to understand is that some of these athletes don't have a choice. Some of their contracts, if they're IFBB for example, they're not allowed to come out because all of this hype around them revolves around them being a natural athlete, when in fact they know good and well that they're on something, but this hype, the aura that's built around them is built around them being a natural athlete, and if that ball was to pop, well then so would their career. One last thing before we get started, these aren't exact numbers. A few of them might be a few months old, it's just what I've managed to find on the internet and known from personal experience of watching them on YouTube myself. So whether it's now or 6 months ago, it's not going to make too much of a difference, because if they're on something, they were more than likely going to be on something 6 months ago anyway. So let's get started with the king of the natty debate, Jeff Side. A lot of people criticise him because he does compete in the IFBB Mr. Olympia, which is renowned for being filled with unnatural athletes, as well as his insane genetics, fantastic athletic looking physique, wide shoulders, that great V-taper, and well, people just get jealous. He also claims to have 18-inch arms, which people can obviously just tell that he doesn't, especially if we compare him to Christian Guzman, who openly says his arms are 16 to 16.5 inches, and they look bigger and more full. He also inflates his weight at times, calling himself 205 pounds when it's just obvious that he isn't. Anyway, moving on to the actual stats. At the minute, he stands at 6 foot tall, 190 pounds and around 6% body fat. This gives him an FFMI of 24.6, again making him right on that grey area, but bearing in mind his insane genetics and how long he's been training, as well as how he looked when he was young, statistically it's not out of this world to believe he's natural. It's highly doubtful, but it's not out of this world to believe it. Next up, the guy who is absolutely killing it right now, Christian Guzman, standing at 6 feet tall, 163 pounds and 6% body fat, giving him an FFMI of 21.3, natural. I'm just going to say that right now, natural. If you ask me, the result is a little bit low, but we do have to bear in mind that he is an ectomorph body type. If you want to know what that means, in a nutshell, it means that you have a smaller frame than other people. If you want me to do a more in-depth video on the different body types so you can work out which body type you are, then let me know in the comment section. Christian also has very normal bulking and cutting stages. If you ask me, his entire channel was built around the summer shredding series. He also has a summer bulking series, Although he doesn't call it that bulking series anymore, he still carries out a prolonged bulk in order to put on as much mass as possible. Natural. Next up, another athlete, Rob Lipsett, 5'8", 164 pounds, 6% body fat, giving him an FFMI of 23.2. Rob is new on the scene. He actually won British Breakthrough Act at Body Power 2016, but he has skyrocketed in this last year, mainly due to his educational and interesting content. He's a very, very clever guy. He knows nutrition inside out like the back of his hand and knows how to maximise his muscle gain. Definitely natural. Moving on to someone who's been around for quite some time now, Arnold Schwarzenegger. 6'2", 235 pounds and 7% body fat, giving him an FFMI of 28.7. I've put this one in there at the start because it gives you an idea of how good Arnold was. Everybody knows Arnold openly said that he was on steroids. So this can be used as a good comparison for later on in the video, which actually leads me on to my next point of Simeon Panda. 6'1", 220 pounds and 5% body fat, giving him an FFMI of 28. Now bear in mind that 26 is the realm, 28 Arnold Schwarzenegger is 28.7. It's not that far off Arnold Schwarzenegger. Now this guy consistently places high in the Musclemania World Championships. As well as this, he stays lean all year round, a documented single digit body fat, which is a major sign to look out for when you're talking about fake natties. With an FFMI of 28, the question is he natural? Fuck no. Moving on to someone else who gets a lot of debate, Matt Ogus. 5'7", 180 pounds and around 9% body fat. Looks a lot leaner than 9% if you ask me, but if you look at some of the pictures, he's a lot more shredded in the front, as you can see by his ridiculously symmetrical physique, showing his awesome genetics, but we'll get to that in a minute. He isn't as shredded in the back, however, which sort of levels out the body fat if you think about it. FFMI of 24.9. Remember what I said a minute ago? 24 to 26 is the grey area. Now Matt Ogus gets a lot of criticism for taking steroids. When it was April Fool's, he did in fact do an April Fool's video not that long ago when he was saying he was taking steroids, sending the fitness community into anarchy, before everybody realised he was fooling a lot of them, and it was April Fool's. Well played, Matt, well played. So as I was saying, 24 to 26 is the grey area. People with the top of the top genetics. If you ask me, this is the case with Matt. He bulks and cuts just like everyone else for a very long time in order to get as lean as he does, so that's what makes me think that he is natural. Moving on to Steve Cook, 6'1", 204 pounds and 6% body fat, giving him a 25.9 FFMI. Everybody knows Steve Cook competes at the Mr. Olympia in men's physique. He is an IFBB athlete, which immediately rings alarm bells and makes it very difficult for you to be natural, as it's quite well known that a lot of people are on something. But then again, he doesn't exactly scream from the rooftops that he is a natural athlete, so who cares anyway? He lives a healthy lifestyle, is very motivational, so he's not trying to fool anyone, so I haven't got a problem with it. So for the purpose of this video, I'm going to say Steve Cook, not natural. Moving on to one of the biggest YouTubers, the Hodge twins. Both standing at 6'2", around 203 pounds and 10% body fat, giving them an FFMI of 24 on the dot. Again, it's right in that grey area where you have to judge it on how long they've been training, genetics, etc. They have admitted to having great genetics, but they do also say it's not all down to their genetics. If you watch their videos, they shift some weight and do train hard, so with good genetics I don't find it hard to believe that they are natural. Moving on to someone who everybody has heard of. If you're into YouTube, I'm sure you've heard of this man, Ziz. He is 6'1", 205 pounds and 7% body fat, giving him an FFMI of 25.6. The reason this much loved guy is in this video is to show that not everybody who is on steroids is going to look like Arnold Schwarzenegger. Lots and lots of people take a low dosage and still look natural, but just look good, like they look real good. Referring back to my example of looking like those who have the best genetics, this is a perfect example. So that's all we're going to be covering today, so I'll just do a quick review for you. Jess Side, great genetics, highly doubtful, but it's not completely impossible. Christian Guzman, obviously natural. Rob Lipsett, also obviously natural. Arnold Schwarzenegger, obviously not. Simeon Panda, fuck no. Matt Ogus, insane genetics, very possible that he's natural. Steve Cook, very doubtful, but again it's possible. Hodge twins, very open about their great genetics, very possible that they're natural. And this, obviously not. So guys, this is a combination of statistics and my opinion, so if you agree with me, please let me know in the comment section, but also if you disagree with me, let me know what you think, especially with people like Jeff Side and Matt Ogus who get a lot of controversy. Let me know what you think. If you think they're unnatural or if you think they're natural, let me know in the comment section. Another thing is, do not be put off by these YouTubers. As I said, some of them have no choice. If you're contracted by IFBB, for example, some of them aren't allowed to come out. even if they want to, doesn't mean they're a nasty person, doesn't mean they're a liar, doesn't mean anything. It means that their career doesn't allow them to actually come out as an unnatural athlete, even if they want to. Another thing is there a possibility that they are lying to you. For example, people who look like Arnold Schwarzenegger but claim to be natural are clearly lying. But at the same time, it's kind of understandable because it is their career. I mean, not calling Simeon Panda out or anything, he looks a fuckload better than me. But you have to admire still, despite the fact that he is almost definitely on something, you still have to admire the amount of dedication that would have had to go in to get that physique, regardless of whether you're on steroids or not. So the moral of the story is, don't watch these guys because you think they're on steroids. Don't watch these guys just because they have a good physique. Watch these guys because they have something that they can give to you. Like, I watch Christian Guzman because he's very motivational to me. I watch Rob Litzit because he's very educational, very interesting. I watch the Hodgsons because if you ask me, they're just hilarious to watch. And also they've got a decent physique, so it's quite interesting to find out what techniques they use and how I can incorporate them myself. So just watch somebody that you're going to get something out of, not just because you like their physique. Watch them because they are likable people, watch them because you enjoy their content. So that's it for today, guys. If you enjoyed this video, please let me know by leaving a like or a comment. Actually, it took me a lot longer than you think to put this video together, so if you enjoyed it, please let me know by leaving a like, comment and subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. Also, if you would like me to link the studies that I use to get this information, then comment down in the comment section and I'll be more than happy to supply that information for you. Also, if you're new to the channel, then thanks a lot for watching, thanks a lot for tuning in, and stay tuned for more great content. And thank you to my current subscribers who comment and like on every single video. You know who you are. We're now growing much quicker than we've ever grown before, so that's all down to you guys. So thanks a lot for that. It really does mean a lot. It makes it a lot more worthwhile. So that's it for today, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.